Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Liz. Welcome to my 100th video Q&A, and thank you to everyone who asked questions. I wasn't expecting to get that many questions, but I actually have more questions than I think I can answer in the time span of this speed draw. So I'm just gonna get to as many as I can. And thank you everyone who asked questions. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. Recently I hit 10,000 subscribers, which is a crazy milestone. It really warms my heart that so many people are caring about the stuff that I make, and my dumb jokes are making people laugh. So yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, let's get some questions. A few people asked what my first Pokemon game was, and that was Pokemon Pearl. I borrowed my friend's game cartridge back when I was 12 and played it on my DS, and the first game I actually bought was Pokemon Platinum. I've played every game since then, basically, apart from I didn't pick up the first two Kanto remakes for the Switch because I've played the Kanto region enough times and I didn't have a spare 50 quid lying around. My favourite Pokemon generation would probably be Alola. I really liked the story of that generation. I feel like in the 3D Pokemon games they've had more time, they were more able to focus on the storytelling, the fact that you can see the whole body and the acting, even though the acting is admittedly pretty limited in the Pokemon games. It really helps bring the characters to life rather than just have a chibi and text panels like you used to have in the 2D games. And I just really love Sun and Moon. It was with me through some really hard times as well, so it was a nice little escape. I'm not really that much of a gamer outside of Pokemon. I like Zelda, I like rhythm games, but apart from that I don't have much time for video games, and I don't have a lot of money either. I think the DLC this generation has been a really good thing. I think the DLC was too short, the story mode this time. The Isle of Armor is great, it's a really nice area, and the load times have been reduced a lot, so I think they've optimized it a lot better. But the story mode, I powered through it in an afternoon. I know that was a lot of people's problems, and then all that's left is busy work, finding the Diglett and just hanging around for the gym leaders, which I think are actually randomly generated, which really annoys me. There really isn't that much to do on the island that I'll be there long enough to encounter everyone. So it seems like a bit of a waste that you can't use that feature to its fullest extent, really, I guess. Okay, so someone asked what my favourite Pokemon is. Rockruff, definitely. Cute little dog, I'm sold. And its name in Japanese is Iwanko, which is rock puppy but also good puppy, because Iwanko. Oh, a pun as well. Can it get any better? No, it can't. Someone asked as well which of the Lichen Rocks was my favourite. I think I would have to go with the Dusk form, because it's the best of both worlds. The Dawn form is majestic and beautiful. The Night form is kind of trash. I tried to make it look cute in this drawing, but I don't think I managed it. But yeah, Dusk form is cute and it's a bit special, it's a bit different. So yeah, my least favourite Pokemon I think would be Throh and Sork, because they're just boring and they're version exclusive. So when I was little it was you mean I have to search for this on Black and White? This ugly Pokemon that no one wants, it's just a man in a gi. It's just boring. It's a waste of a Pokemon, honestly. My favourite type of Pokemon is probably Dark type. There seems to be a high concentration of dog-shaped Pokemon, which, as we've established, is my jam. I love dogs, love Pokemon. And also just the edgy factor of Dark type I'm here for. I think if I was a gym leader, that would be my type. I think I would be a manga artist themed gym leader, and it would be dark, and you would go in and it would be piles of paper and pages pegged up everywhere to dry, making a maze. All the assistants would be just go away, we're so busy, it's a deadline, I smudged my painting when you defeat them. I think that would be a fun concept. I might draw my gym leader Sona sometime, because that was a thing that was going around and I didn't get in on it at the time. but I might have to get on that later. So, Pokemon characters. A lot of people were asking who my favourite gym leader was. Gordy, can't you tell? He gets all the best jokes in the Vine. I love him. I think his storyline is interesting and relatable. Like, he's got a bit of a rocky relationship with his mum. See what I did there? But like, honestly, who hasn't fought with their parents? I think it just kind of brings the character down to earth, and love his design, the backflip, king. Someone asked if I stan Gordy, and I do. A few people asked like what was my thoughts on the rivals. I think like I do love Hop. He is a lot of a retread of How's character, which is kind of annoying, but at the same time I do love that kind of character. Marnie is fine. Like by the end of the game I did like her, but I kind of was a bit meh. Bede, I don't like him. He is Gladio 2.0, edgy little man, not a fan. Sorry, Bede fans. Someone asked if I would rank the gym leaders from this generation. I feel like this is going to be very controversial, so let's go from the top. Favourite is Gordy Boy, Piers is second, Leon probably third, Milo, Raihan, Kabu. Like, characters that I like fine would be like Opal, Melanie, Nessa, Marnie. Like, I have nothing against them, but they're not like faves. And then right down at the bottom will be poor B, Alistair, and Bede right at the bottom. Sorry Bede fans, sorry B fans, sorry Alistair fans. I think they're just too young for me to identify with them anymore, honestly. I know those three are big fan favourites. And I got a few questions of like, why don't you put Alistair in the Vines? And it's really funny because I actually do make an effort to put at least one Alistair Vine in. But the fan base, that he's the fave, I get it. There's never enough of your fave. So yeah, tell me about my ranking and why it sucks in the bottom in the comments. I got a few questions about shipping, and pretty much like I support most of the ships, but I don't have like an OTP or anything. Like I think Stone Garden shipping is cute with Milo and Gordy. I think like Leon and Raihan are really cute together. Like Piers, I ship with everyone. And like rare pairs are really fun too, like Milo and Piers. I think that would be a cute ship because they're just so like opposite personalities. I don't really have like an OTP or anything, except Professor Kukui and Professor Burnett, because that is the most wholesome thing in my whole life. Yeah, I got a few questions about like Vines. Will I do another Vine compilation? Probably. I'm not promising anything because I don't make promises on the internet. And if I do make another one, I will definitely include Clara and Avery in this one because I love them. I wasn't really sold on them, and then like when the DLC came out, like especially Clara's animation, you can see when she's doing her little like woo thing, she's pressing really hard on the Pokeball, and that just added so much to like her character. I thought it was great. So a few people asked like, where did I get the idea for the Vine compilation? I was just working in a shop over Christmas, and I was really tired and depressed and didn't have any energy for art. Like, I've been trying to make art work out for me for a while and it wasn't happening, so it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna make something fun. I saw other people were making anime Vine compilations, like there's a lot of JoJo ones, but I hadn't seen one for Pokemon yet, so I just went ahead and did it. And then it popped off, and I'm really happy that everyone loved it. So yeah, that's that. I got a few questions about drawing, like how long I've been drawing. I've been drawing for a long time. I think I've been drawing seriously since like trying to really improve my drawing and work on it since like maybe 10 years. So yeah, I've got a lot of beginner artists. A few people ask tips for beginner artists, and I say my main tip is just keep going. Try not to like compare yourself to other people and get discouraged. Like, I know there's so much like toxicity on the internet at the moment, like people putting like little kids art in cringe compilations and just offering unwanted criticism, which is just tearing people's art apart and making fun of it. Draw whatever the hell you want. Make a furry OC, draw some edgy animation memes, like do it. The more you draw, the better you get. I would say to try and keep like a sketchbook as well as just drawing on your mum's tablet or whatever. A lot of beginner artists start out doing digital art on like a phone screen with their finger, which is great because like animation is so much more accessible than it used to be. But when you're drawing on paper, it's so much easier to like control like the lines and to think about what you're drawing rather than just concentrating on like, oh, this line won't come out right because I'm drawing with my finger on a tablet screen. So like a sketchbook is a great way to like keep practicing and just draw more and more quickly and like focus on like the craft of drawing rather than trying to make a finished digital art piece. Someone also asked, how do I draw men so well? And that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Is it's really common in anime circles, especially for people to be like, oh, I can't draw men, or oh, I can't draw women. And like, I think the answer to that is just force yourself to try. Like, take some time to like study real life people, and when you're drawing like for men specifically, think about like things like how broad are the shoulders, like how tall are they, how bulky, how muscular, how defined are their muscles, which is a different thing. Like you can be skinny but still like define them, and it gives them a more masculine look because men tend to have more defined muscles. How much body fat do they have, where are they carrying it, like narrower hips, but try not to just get stuck in the mindset of like, oh, I'm drawing a man, I'm gonna make him the most manly thing ever, because like the human race, like gender is a spectrum, like people have different body types, and it's almost as bad as just drawing one gender of people and then just only drawing two genders, and all the men look like Superman and all the women look like little Barbie dolls. That's a problem you often see in Western comics. A few people asked what art program I use. I use Clip Studio Paint. I'd recommend it. It's a single purchase and you own it, which is getting increasingly rare these days, and it's very powerful, and I find it very convenient for comics especially. And to edit videos, I use After Effects at the moment, which is not affordable, and I would not recommend it for a beginner. But if you are looking to go into animation, it's really useful to be able to use the industry standard programs. So I'm trying to teach myself that. Someone asked what inspired my art style, and I think anime, obviously, like Fullmetal Alchemist. Steven Universe really influenced my colour design, and just Ben 10 Omniverse actually, which don't call me trash, I love that show. And I think it's like a really nice blend of like, it's obviously very inspired by anime, but at the same time they have like the cartooniness still there, and like the way that the figures are drawn is like they're wildly varying. I think the silhouettes are really nice. You can probably see it the most in like, I square off the tips of my character's fingers. For me, it just, like, I suck at drawing fingertips. They always end up looking like claws, so just squaring them off makes it look a bit more like intentional. So that's from Ben 10, that is. So Jordan asked what my favourite anime is, and I would say Redline. Definitely watch that movie, it's a masterpiece, it's so stylish, the soundtrack is amazing. Fullmetal Alchemist as well is another anime that I adore, and people haven't seen it because it finished a couple of years ago, so it's not old enough to become a classic yet, but it's not being like talked about. So definitely watch those if you haven't had the chance. Someone asked if I've seen Pokemon 2019 yet, or Pokemon Journeys. I have. I am really enjoying it. Sun and Moon anime was like, it had my heart. It really did. So it took me a while to warm up to Go, especially because like characters that are really like outwardly prickly like that, I find it really hard to empathize with. I think I'm much more of Ash than I am Go as a person, but I did warm up to it. I did warm up to him, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait for Rayhan. He's supposed to turn up soon. Before the lockdown happened, they teased, oh, Rayhan's coming, and it's like, oh, my boy. And then lockdown happened, and obviously it's much better that they closed the animation studios and put people's health before entertainment and money, but it was still, I still was like, it's nice having a weekly anime to look forward to. And this season there hasn't been much good, honestly. Oh, I watched Brand New Animal, and not many people watched it, it seems like, and it is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, but I am absolutely here for it. And again, like, Trigger's colour design is just phenomenal. Their story department's kind of trash, but in a way that I'm here for. So if you haven't seen Brand New Animal, it's like Beastars but not edgy. Honestly. I haven't seen Beastars. I'm not going to. It seems too dark for my taste. No shade, just I'm baby. Rocky asked what's my favourite song to listen to while animating. I listen to a lot of soundtracks, like the Redline soundtrack, absolute banger. The whole soundtrack is one banger. I don't play Animal Crossing, but I love the Animal Crossing soundtrack. Like Mario Galaxy soundtrack as well is just some nice soothing music. The other day I listened to a 1 hour loop of the SpongeBob ending while I was making my show reel, while I was editing it together. And I listened to that 1 hour loop twice, and I think my family were a bit worried about me. So, yeah, great taste, that's me. Ooh, someone asked me for an unpopular Pokemon opinion, so I might finish on that. My unpopular opinion would be that Lydia, Gladio, and Luzamina are overrated. I don't enjoy their character types. Gladio is like a poor man's Sasuke. Lydia is overdone Ohime-sama character. Like, I'm fed up. She took screen time away from my little boy, Hal, who should have had more screen time. Like, I'm fed up of them, and I feel like Lydia is the only one who is likely to return in future generations, so I'm a bit salty. So yeah, I hope you guys are all having a lovely day, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you soon. Bye!